Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Dark Park Film Reviews. And this is a part two to a previous video that I did, the Epic Marvel Superhero Collection Part 1. This is Part 2, and this is Spider-Man. So I was originally going to do X-Men and then Spider-Man, because that's the order that they go in. But because of Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out, I thought I would do Spider-Man first and then do X-Men as we get closer to Avengers Doomsday. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I've liked Spider-Man since I was a kid. He is my favorite Marvel character. And so I thought it'd be fun to look at Spider-Man, also look at my collection. These are just the movies. It's not, well, it's the movies, live action films, but also the two animated movies. But it's not like the animated TV shows or the like the live action TV show from like the 70s and stuff. These are just the movies and then the two like Spider-Verse films that we're going to be taking a look at. So what I want to do first is take a look at, we're going to be looking at here, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. And this is pretty much the movie. This is it. This is really what kind of started everything. This is Sony. And even though it does, you know, they have it listed as Marvel, this is Sony. And so let's look at kind of like what I did last time. We're going to be looking at Wikipedia. So it looks like here I need to remove this one first and then bring this one up. There we go. All right. So this is what I used last time, and we'll just continue using it. On the first video, we looked at Howard the Duck. So there, you know, according to Wikipedia, Howard the Duck would be the first Marvel movie, 1986. That then went into Blade, which was 1998, and then X-Men. That's where I was going to start with this video. But like I said, I'm going to wait to, you know, until we get closer to Avengers Doomsday to go over all the X-Men movies. So from there, we got Blade 2, which was 2002, and then Spider-Man. So Columbia Pictures or Sony, we're also then going to be going down. We're going to skip X-Men 2. We're going to go down to Spider-Man 2. Then from there, we could skip X-Men Last Stand, go down to Spider-Man 3. Then from there, we are going to pass X-Men Origins Wolverine. We're going to skip X-Men First Class. And then that's going to take us all the way down to The Amazing Spider-Man. And then we're going to pass the Wolverine, look at Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, X-Men Days Future Past. We're going to skip that for now. Keep going. We're going to keep going. Going to keep going. And then, you know, from because there was no part 3 to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, then we're going to hop down to, which was still, you know, Sony, Columbia Pictures. We're going to then hop all the way down to Spider-Man Homecoming. So this is the first Columbia Pictures Marvel Studios, distributed by Sony Pictures. That then we're going to Venom. So the whole kind of Venom verse, Sony Spider-Man less universe. This I'm going to cover in a whole different video. This is, I like to think of this more as the Madam Web verse, but we're going to be looking at all 3 Venom movies. We're going to be looking at Madam Web. We're going to be looking at Morbius. We're going to look at Craven. Basically, anything that is within this universe here, that will be in a second video which I think will probably be after the Spider-Man, the Brand New Day comes out. So I want this video to come out before Brand New Day, and then we'll do like a Sony Spider-Man less universe, because I have completely gone off the deep end with this universe. And that will be after Brand New Day comes out. So we'll look at that one. And then we're going to go up to, and then we're going to skip here. We're going to skip Dark Phoenix. And then we're going to end here with Spider-Man Far From Home, which I think is a good place to stop. Oh, no. I'm sorry. My bad. Far From Home is when he goes off to, Homecoming. And then Homecoming is Vulture. Far From Home is Mysterio. My bad. And then, so then we'll skip, Venom Carnage here. Let There Be Carnage. And then that will go to Spider-Man No Way Home, which is all 3 Spider-Man movies. And that will, and then we'll stop here, because then that's Morbius right here. So, because it's Morbin time. That will be on the other video. So I think that's a pretty good place to stop. So looking at, so I'm going to go all the way back here. And we're going to get out of this for a second. And I will show you. So this is, eventually I'll get this stuff on Blu-ray, but I'm kind of happy with the DVDs that I have, because these were the originals that I bought when they came out. So this is a widescreen special edition of the original Spider-Man movie, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. And it has, Willem Dafoe is the Green Goblin. And I like this disc. It's a 2-disc. It's got the famous, shot back here of the kiss. And then kind of got this weird Spider-Man phone stuff going on. And so it looks like scene selections and then how you could save money on a phone. Okay. I guess so. So we'll put Spider-Man like that. And then it's got its 2 discs. So Spider-Man disc 1, widescreen, and then Spider-Man disc 2, which looks like it has most of the special features on. This has a lot of stuff. A widescreen presentation, commentary, effects commentary, music videos, TV spots, theatrical trailer, DVD-ROM when that was a thing, comic feature comparison, record your own commentary. That's interesting. And then a countdown to Spider-Man 2. And then on disc 2, we got HBO making of Spider-Man, Spider-Mania, the director profile, composer profile, because Danny Elfman did the music for this from Oingo Boingo. I'm a huge fan. Screen tests, costume and makeup, gag and outtake reel, conceptual art and production, design gallery. God, this has so much stuff. Historical documentary, Spider-Man, the mythology of the 21st century. I mean, it just goes on. There is a ton of stuff in this. It's also got its own DVD-ROM. Looks like you could play a game. There's some comic books. This has a lot of stuff on it. This is a really good disc. So that's probably why I just haven't traded them in yet. It's like it's all right here. So let's go back and take a look at Wikipedia here. And so 2002, Spider-Man. So really, when we look at things, Blade, which I talked about in the previous video, Blade is the one that kind of set the stage. Howard the Duck burned the stage. It just burned the stage. it's one of those movies that, I mean, I love it because it's awful, and I have that connection to it by knowing people who worked on it. But this was definitely not the standard. Blade became the standard. This is where it started, and this would have been, you know, New Line Cinema. After that, then X-Men came up, and that was a few years later. So that would have been 20th Century Fox. And then after that, because Blade was a success, they made the even better Blade 2. Still New Line Cinema. So I'm guessing somebody at some point at Columbia said, okay, we gotta do something, you know. We gotta, you know, who do we have? Well, we got Spider-Man. Okay, so we're gonna do Spider-Man. And it got nominated for, excuse me, my nose really itches, nominated for 2 Oscars. So let's take a look at Spider-Man. And it's saying here that, you know, the first film in the Sam Raimi's, you know, Spider-Man trilogy, and this, you know, 2002 to 2007. It also has screenplays by David Koepp, who I do like. He is very hit and miss. When he writes his own movies, they're normally really good. When he writes for other people, they're not very good. In this case, this one is good. So this is the rare David Koepp film that he did not write for himself to direct. As I said before, Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, Kirsten Dunst. We also get James Franco, Cliff Robertson, Rosemary Harris. Green Goblin is the main villain in this one. And so let's go down and take a look at, and of course, we all know Sam Raimi. So let's do a quick look at him. Sam has always been a favorite of mine. And I don't know why we can't get to, okay. So we know him from, Evil Dead. Crime Wave is a little, it was good, but not great. He didn't have a lot of control on that one. Evil Dead 2, of course, Dark Man, Army of Darkness, worked on the Hudsucker Proxy because he's friends with the Coen brothers. Quick and the Dead, Simple Plan, For Love of the Game, The Gift, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. He did work on the Bruce Campbell film, Man with the Screaming Brain, Spider-Man 3, Drag Me to Hell, which is an unofficial Evil Dead movie. The Deadites are in the film. Oz the Great and Powerful, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I thought was very disappointing. And then he did Send Help, which I enjoyed, but I do have mixed feelings on it. He is a producer of many movies, executive producer only. So this is producer only, executive producer only. TV shows, movies. He's also acted in a bunch of films. And so pretty much Sam Raimi has done a bunch of stuff, short films. He's got acting roles again, television. The list just goes on and on and on with Sam Raimi there. And so when we're looking at him, it's also David Koepp. So I never really realized if it's David Koepp or David Cope. I think it's Koepp. So just in case I say his name wrong, but he is Spielberg's that's Spielberg's primary writer. And he has done some real hits and misses. Apartment Zero, I still need to watch. Bad Influence was good. Why Me? Yeah, I've never seen that. I Come in Peace is good. Death Becomes Her is good. And then this is really the film that kicked him off, Jurassic Park. So he also did like Carlito's Way. He wrote The Paper, The Shadow, which I really enjoyed. Mission Impossible, the first one. Then he starts getting into directing with like The Trigger Effect, which I really liked. And then The Lost World, Jurassic Park, which was okay. Snake Eyes, Brian De Palma. Then, Stir of Echoes, which he directed, which is very good. Panic Room, Spider-Man, Secret Window, which he directed, which is also very good. War of the Worlds, which is very hit and miss. I mean, his list goes on and on. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, Ghost Town, which is good. See, all the movies that he's directed, I think have been pretty good. Premium Rush is good. I think it's one that gets forgotten. I enjoyed that one. This one, Mordecai, I have not seen. So, I've heard very mixed, but I do own it. I'll just have to watch it. You Should Have Left. I don't think I've seen that one either. But Kevin Bacon is in it. Also, he's in Stir of Echoes. And then there's a lot of screenplays here. And he didn't direct any of these. So his last film was, 2020 that he directed. And then he also has a couple TV shows. A lot of unproduced scripts. Oh, Green Hornet and Kato. That would have been interesting. I'm a huge Green Hornet fan. Thank you, Seth Rogen, for fucking that up. So yeah, a lot of stuff with him too. So it's got really good people on it, and it's got a good cast. Music, Danny Elfman. I don't want to spend too much time on everybody here, but Elfman has done a lot of, Oingo Boingo. He's done a ton of movie soundtracks, and he's won a lot of awards, nominated. He's got his discography, which of course would be a combination of Oingo Boingo and Danny Elfman. So you could see, he's done a lot of, soundtracks. Oh, these must just be, that's not everything. Oh, these are singles that he did. Oh, solo releases. Okay. Yeah, then these are all of his soundtracks. He has done a ton of soundtracks. He's one of my favorites. I don't think that he's good for everything. But I definitely think that, that he is really one of our best. He's not a conductor, he's a composer. So he's one of our best composers. It says Dracula here. Oh, Luc Besson's Dracula. Oh, that's interesting. To be announced. This movie's already out. I own it on DVD. I should go see if he's, well, let's click on this. Did he do the soundtrack to this? Music by Danny Elfman. Oh, shit. Okay. I'll have to, okay. I plan on doing an Argento Dracula and a Luc Besson Dracula comparison video. But then, there's just songs that he's done for movies. And he's done a ton of stuff. He's also married to Brigitte Fonda. So a very lucky guy on that one. So that's pretty much our main people that have worked on this. And this so it came out in 2002. Now, the thing that I like with this Spider-Man, and kind of like what they started, kind of a more grounded universe, I think, in some of these, is I do like grounded. I like that the Green Goblin, that it is a suit. I like that he doesn't turn into it, even though Willem Dafoe does look like the Green Goblin. They probably wouldn't have to do much makeup on him. I do like that he is in it's a costume, like a military weapon that he's in. And I had no problem with the webs coming out of Spider-Man's body instead of them having the kind of like the gadgets that are on his arms. That to me kind of actually made a little bit more sense. And we have here, so it's 121 minutes. So for a superhero film, that's a good length. Its budget was 139 million, and it made 826.8 million. So it made money. It made some money. I like Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, he's kind of a weird guy, but I guess that kind of fits it. I mean, he's just, when you've seen him with interviews, he's just kind of a strange guy. And you can see from Willem Dafoe there that he definitely looks like the Green Goblin. Kirsten Dunst is gorgeous in this, just absolutely gorgeous. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, I don't think they could have casted her, better. I think that she is just awesome. I am a James Franco fan. I know he's done some crappy stuff in the past, but I do like the guy. I think he's a good actor. He's a good director. Looking at the, like the cast on this. So Kirsten Dunst does play Mary Jane Watson. I think that she does a really good job on this. Willem Dafoe. Then we got him as the Green Goblin. Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. James Franco is Harry Osborn, who's in all three movies. And then we have, J.K. Simmons. We can't forget J.K. Simmons, as J. Jonah Jameson. I thought was really good. Rosemary Harris, there's a very young picture of her, plays May Parker, or Aunt May. And then you have, Cliff Robertson, who is a classic, actor, plays Ben Parker, or Uncle Ben. And then you have a lot of other people that are in this. You got like Ted Raimi, you got Elizabeth Banks. There's a lot of people that are in this. Yeah, Bruce Campbell has a cameo in all three movies, as he should. It's just all these different actors that are. Stan Lee, of course, is in this. So this was a hit. This was a hit, obviously. And it is something that will always be known as one of the first ones. Blade might have really started, might have been the first one, but Spider-Man is the one that definitely, solidified it. So if we, when we look at stuff and, want to kind of look back at what was the, the beginnings, I think it really would be Spider-Man. You definitely Blade, but definitely Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is a huge hit, and you want a sequel. So what do? You make Spider-Man 2. What I do like is in the eyes of these people, or I should say in the posters, is, let me pull back up Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man here. So it's a whole picture of his face, and there's a picture of Green Goblin right there. I dig that. I like that, because then in what you have for then Spider-Man 2. Oh, that's what happens when I click too fast. Is here you have then the Spider-Man face again, but you've got more of a kind of like a half body, but it's in his eye is Doc Ock. And I like that. I dig that. I tried to find as many posters with that in it because I just think it's a really cool idea. But this Spider-Man 2 for me is still, Marvel-wise, I think the best Spider-Man movie, and it's definitely in the top 5 as one of the greatest Marvel superhero movies. So let's take a look at, Wikipedia when it comes to Spider-Man 2. So we watched, Spider-Man, and it was a huge hit. Watched it back in the day. Then 20th Century Fox gave us Daredevil, and of course X2. Now Universal's getting into it with Hulk. So we got, Daredevil, that's the Ben Affleck one. We got X2, which is still one of the best X-Men movies. Then we have Hulk, and then they gave us, Artisan over here, gave us The Punisher. That is the one that has Thomas Jane in it. And then after that, we get Spider-Man 2. Same year, so this is 2004. Daredevil, X2, and Hulk are 2003. But you also get Blade Trinity in the same year, so Blade 3. I like Blade Trinity. I don't have a problem with it. A lot of people don't like it, but I like it. Spider-Man 2, still Columbia Pictures. Blade Trinity, New Line. So he's still not getting into the Marvel yet. And then Spider-Man 2 won 1 Oscar, but nominated for 2 more. So let's take a look. Oh, well, no, actually, I never showed you my... So this is my Spider-Man 2. And it's got its slipcover on it, which is really nice. It is also a 2-disc. And we got it's a good looking back there. And then we got the Doc Ock right here. See, this is grounded, which is why I like it. It's just, he's a guy. He puts the tentacles on the back of him. It goes wrong. It turns him into Doc Ock, but he's still grounded. He doesn't have super, like he can't disappear and reappear. He can't all of a sudden go from Earth to Jupiter, something like that. He's a guy who's being controlled, being manipulated by these tentacles, and I like that. We also, here's disc 1, which would be the movie. And then disc 2 is the special features. So once again, Doc Ock, really well cast. So this is a really, really good casting. And it is, oh, fuck, I'm blanking. Why would Alfred Molina? Jeez, getting old, man. I am getting old. So some of the special features that are on here, like disc 1, audio commentary, technical commentary, blooper reel. There's a trivia track. There's 4 web episodes. There's a music video. Disc 2 would be like a 12-part documentary, Making the Amazing, Hero in Crisis, a deeper look at the Peter Parker. I mean, Occumentary, Interwoven, The Women of Spider-Man. I mean, there is a lot of stuff on here. Enter the Web, the groundbreaking multi-angle look behind the scenes. I mean, this is art gallery. I mean, they look into the Activision game for Spider-Man 2. There's a lot of stuff on this. So, and I do like that it has its slipcover on it, which is, I bought this when it originally came out, and it still looks good. So it's not ratty or anything. I like that. Okay, so now let's get into this. So we can just go straight into Spider-Man 2. So Spider-Man 2 is 2004. And we got, we got Tobey Maguire coming back. We got Kirsten Dunst coming back. James Franco. Here we got Alfred Molina, who is Doc Ock. We got Aunt May coming back. And we got Donna Murphy. Who does Donna Murphy play? Well, we'll look down at cast. I'm not sure who she plays in this. Looks like she's mostly a singer. Also directed by Sam Raimi. This time, story is not by David Koepp, but we're not going to look at all 3 writers. So Smallville. Yeah, it just says Smallville for the first guy. I'm not going to click on each guy. That's too much. And then, oh, cinematography, Bill Pope. He is good. Music by Danny Elfman again. 127 minutes. Still not too bad. A little, few minutes more than the original. So its budget on this is a little higher. It's 200 million, and it made 797 million. This is still regarded as one of the best, in my opinion. For Spider-Man in general, it is the best. My favorite for like DC would be Watchmen. I don't think that DC has done a better movie than Watchmen. So we got Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, Kirsten Dunst, Mary Jane Watson. James Franco is back as Henry Osborn. Alfred Molina is now Dr. Otto Octavius, or Dr. Octopus. There's Rosemary Harris. Donna Murphy is, I recognize her now. Okay. She plays Doc Ock's wife. Okay. J.K. Simmons is back. Portrays his son, the astronaut. That's right. Yeah. Who at one time might have been Venom, Mary Jane's fiance. And then Christine Estabrook appears briefly as Jameson's wife and John's mother. Okay. Of course, the film has Bruce Campbell doing, being a cameo. And Dylan Baker plays Dr. Kurt Connors, who would be the Lizard, maybe at some point in this, but that never happened. Willem Dafoe does come back as Norman, Osborn. Who else do we got in this? Elizabeth Banks is back. So she's the secretary. Ted Raimi is back. Bill Nunn is back. Where's the roles? Reprised their roles as Betty Brant. Oh, I think that's Elizabeth Banks. Okay. All right. Cliff Robertson comes back to reprise his role as Ben Parker. Oh, Scott Spiegel, who recently died. Oh, yeah. Rest in peace, dude. He's in this, friends with Sam Raimi. He's the guy that's, I think he's eating the pizza, and then Spider-Man grabs like a piece of pizza from him. I know he's eating pizza. He's like up on up in a building outside. Portrays a man who attempts to eat some pizza Spider-Man is delivering, only to have it webbed from his hands. Joe McHale. Oh, he's a bank teller. House Sparks. Oh, he's the guy in the elevator that Peter comes across. Okay, so there's other people. But John Landis plays one of the doctors who operates on Dr. Octopus. Oh, that's cool. The director, John Landis. Yeah, there's a lot of twin actors. Okay. All right. So for me, Spider-Man 2, I have this theory when it comes to trilogies, that everything basically follows the original Star Wars trilogy. So you have, I'll call it A New Hope, even though I don't like to, so there's no confusion. You have A New Hope, which is good. You have Empire Strikes Back, which is excellent. And then you have Return of the Jedi, which is okay. You could do this with Mad Max, not counting the last two, the original Mel Gibson's one. Mad Max is good. Road Warrior is excellent. And Thunderdome is okay. It's all right. You could do the same thing with Spider-Man here, with the original 3. Spider-Man is good, Spider-Man 2 is excellent, and Spider-Man 3 is okay. There seems to be this thing where the studio and the director will work together on the first film and will like it. It will make a lot of money. Then, to basically get everybody back for the sequel, especially the director, they're like, do what you want. Do what you want. And that's where we get Spider-Man 2. Then, because Spider-Man 2 makes more money than the first film, the studio says, well, Mr. Director, you're still under contract, and we want you to make a part 3, but you're going to do it our way. Oh, you only want Sandman in it? No, we're going to make you put in Venom. So then you get a movie that's not as good because the director's heart is not 100% into it. So that's where it's the good, excellent, okay. And which I think is true. So you give a director basically, and that has changed over the years, with like Thor Ragnarok, which a lot of people will say is the best Thor movie. They then, Disney, Marvel then gave the director full, control. And what did we get? We got Thor Love and Thunder, which was awful. And there's only 2 of those in that, with that director. So this is just an excellent movie overall. It is the train scene alone, which some people have called like the Jesus scene, where Spider-Man he's up on the train and he's got the webbing and he's holding it like this, almost like he's on a cross, and he's slowing down the train and his suit is just disintegrating, and the fight with Doc Ock. And I love when superheroes are in half costumes, just ripped all apart where you can see who they are. And then he goes to collapse. The people of New York pick him up, bring him inside the train, and they're commenting like, wow, he's really young. And then the little kid gives him back his mask, and it's like, we're not going to tell anybody, really showing that New Yorkers are together, that they really are like one group. And that scene to me has never been duplicated again in like another superhero movie. That scene to me is frigging brilliant. And they tried doing it in Spider-Man Homecoming with the ship that separates. And you see Spider-Man kind of doing the whole thing, like holding the 2 together, and then Iron Man has to put it back. It's not the same. That scene to me is absolutely perfect. There are so many things. The conflict of, being Peter Parker and being Spider-Man, the relationship that he has with, Harry and, Mary Jane, all this stuff is great. The relationship of, Peter and Aunt May, and I do believe it is in this one that, Aunt May, that he tells Aunt May what, or is it the third one? I forget. I think it's this one. I think it's the second one where he tells Aunt May the truth. Because the first one, we get the famous, the first Spider-Man is when we get the famous, lines from Uncle Ben, about the responsibility and all of that stuff. And then they gave for Spider-Man 2, Aunt May has the great, kind of speech that she gives. And then it's not as good as in part 3. So Spider-Man 2, it has everything. It's also that these villains, like with Green Goblin and Doc Ock, that they go crazy and then kind of realize what's going on. More Doc Ock than Green Goblin. That fight in Spider-Man is great. It is great between them two. Just once again, Peter's costume, the Spider-Man costume is just all messed up, and he looks like he's about to die. It is really good. And then you have the fight between Peter and Doc Ock, and then Doc Ock realizes, you know, what's going on, and sacrifices himself. So it is a, you know, a very, very good movie. And I highly recommend it. I mean, if I had to go 1 out of 5, this would get a 5. Spider-Man would probably get like a 4. Spider-Man 3, which we're going to talk about next, would probably get a 3. So so now the next one, when we go to this, is, oh, no, we're actually not talking about Spider-Man 3. Excuse me. We are going to talk about this. So in between Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, there was a re-release of Spider-Man 2 called Spider-Man 2.1. And it's this here. So before you see Spider-Man 3, see the all-new extended cut, Spider-Man 2.1. I immediately went out and bought this. And it is, and you get, you know, 2 versions of the movie, the theatrical and then this extended cut. So which is this here? So it's all new 2-disc extended cut, includes never before seen footage, Spider-Man 2.1. And then down at the bottom here, it says all new 2-disc extended cut, includes 8 minutes of never before seen footage. Comparing the just Spider-Man 2 with Spider-Man 2.1, I think the original Spider-Man 2 works better as far as pacing goes. Spider-Man 2.1 is nice to see for that 8 additional minutes. I don't know if that is what is considered now to be standard. Like if you were to buy Spider-Man 2, would it be Spider-Man 2.1? Kind of like with the Christopher Reeve Superman movies and stuff. There's like 3 different cuts, but now one of those cuts is the standard, and then, you know, the other ones are more collectors type of stuff. This is really interesting to watch for that footage, and I think it's worth owning and watching for that. Where Spider-Man 2, for me, like I said, would get 5 stars, this would get probably like a 4.5, but more towards a 5 because it is Spider-Man 2. With this additional footage, there is a little bit of a pacing issue, but I still really enjoyed it. It does have its slipcase. And let's see here. 2-disc. So disc 1 has like audio commentary. It's got an audio track. So disc 2, oh, not nearly as much. I guess they pretty much, you know, said what they needed to say with the first one. Sneak peek at Spider-Man 3. Multi-angle Danny Elfman's score. VFX breakdown. Yeah, not nearly as much. So this is 136 minutes, where Spider-Man 2 is 128 minutes. And it's, so we got disc 1, the feature film, and then disc 2 has bonus features on it. So I was really happy to get this. You get it just more for that 8 minutes. I don't know if you could find this online or not, but the disc is definitely worth picking up. I don't know if there's anything said in Spider-Man 2. Let's go down a little bit here. Oh yeah, for Spider-Man 2, there was also in the very first teaser trailer, there were the Twin Towers before 9/11 happened, and the webbing and the helicopter that got stuck in it. And then after 9/11, they removed that trailer. I think now you could see it on YouTube. Why it's not giving me sequels, re-releases, video game. Oh, here. In June 2025, it was announced that Sony, in collaboration with Fandom Events, would be re-releasing the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy in theaters. This also marks the first theatrical release of the film's extended cut, Spider-Man 2.1, which was re-released on September 27th, hey, my birthday month, 2025. Which was re-released in September. And then was followed by an encore screening on October 4th, 2025. This was okay. Let me click on this. I remember this coming out a long time ago. Yeah, okay. Spider-Man 2.1 was 2007. An extended cut of the film entitled Spider-Man 2.1 was released on DVD April 17, 2007. The cut included 8 minutes of new footage with new special features not included in the original release. So it's worth it for that too. As well as a sneak preview of the then upcoming Spider-Man 3. The cut also featured new, alternate, and extended scenes and a featurette. Inside Spider-Man 2.1, detailing the making of the cut. A similar cut aired on January 2nd, 2007 on the FX channel with an exclusive sneak preview of Spider-Man 3. So there we go. So that explains it right there. Okay. So good. That makes sense. Because I didn't think so. But that is then going to lead us to then Spider-Man 3, which would be here. Oh, no, that's... Oh, but there's the actual... Okay, so I showed... Everything says Spider-Man. I get confused. So I showed that I own it. This is it here. And then this is the, would be like the... Oh, it even says here, in theaters this fall. Oh, fandom, right there. Unrated. So there is no... they didn't rate the movie. Because I guess because it has the additional footage in it. So, yeah. It's a nice poster. I like that. It's from Doc Ock's point of view. But once again, if you notice, there's Doc Ock in his eye. So now we're getting pretty much a full... So before we got a head, then we got like a head down to the waist. Now we're getting a full Spider-Man, and Doc Ock is in his eyes. I really like what they're doing with this, kind of mirroring the villain that's in these movies. So you go check that out, and well, I guess you couldn't at the time. I guess you could just do it on DVD, but you watch it on DVD, and that gets you all set up for Spider-Man 3. This is a film I think a lot of us have come to like. We've come to appreciate it more. I really did not like this movie when I saw it. I just did not like it at all. It was a major disappointment. And of course, the more that we found out about it, about how Sam Raimi doesn't like Venom, and that was a studio mandate that Venom go in there because Sandman is unknown to a lot of people, but a lot of people like Venom. But like I said, I think over time, a lot of us have come to like Spider-Man 3. Of course, there's the famous, emo scene, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's now fun to look at, and I think Tobey Maguire jokes about it. I don't know what they were thinking, because there is a scene in Spider-Man 2 where Peter's very happy about, Mary Jane, and he's walking down, the street, and he kind of trips a little bit, gets back up, but it's very happy. It's like, I think it's a scene where he's just got into like a relationship with her, and he's very happy, and it's but there's some comedy in it. So of course they try to try to up it. They try to redo it in Spider-Man 3 with Peter Parker emo, and a lot of people hate this. Like I said, I think that we've come to like it a little bit more. That I haven't watched Spider-Man 3 in a while, and maybe I should, but this poster is really good. I like that the black costume, which has always been my favorite ever since the Secret Wars comic book came out, like in, God, I want to say like the early 80s, or like mid 80s, somewhere in there. I've always liked the black costume better, but fans didn't like it, so they changed it back to the regular costume. Without the fans, because the fans didn't like it, we then got Venom and everything that followed. So I've always been okay with that, but I do like the black costume. Just like I like Superman in his black suit. I prefer that one too. But this is I remember an ex-girlfriend found online. She's like, oh, they put out like the first 5 minutes of the movie, because the movie was only going to be coming out a few days later. And we watched that first 5 minutes where Spider-Man is fighting Harry as the new Green Goblin, who looks like a damn Power Ranger. And I'm like, this is awful. This looks horrible. There is no weight to this scene. They just look like they're floating. There is no urgency. There is nothing. And of course, this is where the stupid, Harry amnesia comes in, and they don't even do amnesia right in this movie. But it is, I just remember it not being good. I was so worried. So let's take a look. Let's go back here and go back to Wiki. So now we're going to go down here. We're going to go. So Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Trinity, then we get Elektra, Fantastic Four. So see, still not hitting Marvel yet. X-Men Last Stand. So we're still in New Line Cinema. 20th Century Fox. Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. Also Columbia. And then we got Spider-Man 3. So Spider-Man 3 came out in 2007. Still directed by Sam Raimi. Who wrote this? So it looks like Sam and his brother wrote this one. And so Sam had to deal with Venom, trying to fit that in there. And then Bill Pope again. That's why it looks good. So this one, even though people didn't like it, that's a good poster too. So on the poster that I just showed, it's, the black costume up on the building, and in the reflection is his, regular costume. In this case, now it's his regular costume on the outside of the building, and the black costume is the reflection. But it made a lot of money. So its budget is somewhere between 258 to 350 million. Its box office was 895.9 million. So this is one of those love and hate type of things, but man, did it make a lot of money, which is where, the problem, like with the Disney Star Wars sequels. So, Force Awakens makes over 2 billion. That's expected. It's the first Star Wars film in years. Then you get The Last Jedi, very subversive, and people love it or hate it, but it still makes over 1 billion. Then you get the rise of Palpatine. I mean, I'm sorry, the rise of Skywalker. And it makes under the amount of money that The Last Jedi did. That's not how this is supposed to work. If you have a trilogy and it's a good trilogy, you're supposed to make more money with each film. And the last movie should make a ton of money because it's the last one that, or at least we're thinking it's the last one. They were planning on doing Spider-Man 4, but because of the issues that Raimi had with the studio, and there were also issues with Tobey Maguire, they said, nope, we just don't want to do this. We're not going to do a part 4. So then Sony decided to do the reboot, a few years down the road. But looking at this, now we still got Tobey Maguire, we still got Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, but now we also have like Christian Hayden Church, Topher Grace, Bryce Dallas Howard, who is gorgeous in this. Just like Kirsten Dunst has been gorgeous in the first 2 movies, and she's still gorgeous in the 3rd film, you now have Bryce Dallas Howard, who is gorgeous in this too, and she plays Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy, that's right, because Kirsten Dunst plays Mary Jane. So she plays Gwen Stacy. Also, James Cromwell is in this. Oh, I forgot about that. Rosemary Harris is still back. J.K. Simmons, Harry Osborn. We got Mary Jane. Yeah. So now we got Sandman, Venom, and like the new Green Goblin. And I have to say, excuse me, second one may be coming up. So with this, let's look at the overall cast here. So like I said, Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, Kirsten Dunst, Mary Jane, James Franco. So New Goblin is what they're calling him. New Goblin. Harry Osborn, New Goblin, which I like. I like that he finds his father's secret room. I like that he finds the costume. I like that there's all this stuff, with his father's death. I like that, that he does find out, in part 2 that Peter is Spider-Man, that Doc Ock brings Spider-Man's unconscious body to Harry. I like all that. And then they're like, oh, fuck, well, now what do we do? Oh, we'll give, Harry amnesia through the whole movie, except for the very beginning. And then he gets knocked out. And then at the end, he kind of comes around and then, helps, Peter out. But it's just a horrible look. It just, his costume is awful. It really is. And then, you do have, I believe, oh God. God, I hate getting old. Willem Dafoe, coming back, to kind of haunt Harry. And then, Thomas Hayden Church, who was big off of the film Sideways, which I love. He's Flint Marko's Sandman. This is where my problem comes a little bit in, is I can believe that a guy is a spider. I can believe that a guy creates a Green Goblin costume. I can believe that a doctor becomes like an octopus. It's all more or less grounded. This is where you lose me. Even though I do like Sandman, and I like what they did with him in this, more or less, he's sand. And that to me breaks it. I think even the idea of, like Topher Grace being Eddie Brock in Venom, I think that works better. It's still grounded. If you could think that a guy is a spider, you could think that a guy is this, can be Venom. Why not? So, and then, you have Bryce Dallas Howard as Gwen Stacy, who I like. That's good. Oh, James Cromwell. Yeah, so he plays the captain. Oh, yeah, that's right. He plays Gwen Stacy's father. That's right. And then, you know, Rosemary Harris is back as May. J.K. Simmons is back as J. Jonah Jameson. Um, a lot of this stuff I think kind of sets up for part 4, which, like I said, they never made. Dylan Baker is back as Kurt Connors or the Lizard. You know, here's Bill Nunn again is back. Elizabeth Banks is back. Betty Brant. Yeah, so receptionist Betty Brant. This is the stuff that, so Michael Papa John, he returns as the carjacker from the first Spider-Man movie. We find out that he is actually not the guy who shot Ben. That is actually Flint Marko. I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. Yeah, not sure if I'm a huge fan of that. We do have, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he comes back as Flash Thompson. We get Betty Ann Baker as, looks like Gwen's mom. Oh, yeah, Teresa Russell. Yeah. She's Flint Marko's wife. Oh, yeah, then this little girl here, she's the Flint's daughter. Bruce Campbell, of course, is back. So in the first film, Bruce Campbell is the ring announcer. In the second film, he's the guy that's like the usher. He's stopping Peter from entering the theater where Mary Jane is performing because it has already begun. The door is locked. They don't let you in once the performance starts. In this one, he is the French maitre d'. That keeps, because Peter wants to propose to Mary Jane, and he and the guys with the instruments are kind of going back and forth between the table where Peter and Mary Jane are at. It says that we also get some cameos from Dean Edwards, Lucy Gordon, Hal Fishman, and okay, I recognize him as himself. Grant Curtis, one of the film's producers, plays the driver of an armored car attacked by Sandman. Oh, the film's composer, Christopher Young, appears as a theater pianist. And of course, Stan Lee. This I like because Danny Elfman did the music for Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. He had a falling out with Sam Raimi. So Christopher Young came in and did the music for Spider-Man 3, who I like. I think that he is good. So let's see. Let's go back up here to music. So it's only listed as Christopher Young, even though I do think there is certain things that are Danny Elfman in it. He might have redone them, though. But yeah, this is a tough one, man. It's too many villains, too much stuff going on. You know, I do like the ego of Spider-Man in this. I mean, once you hit being that big of a celebrity, you're going to get that ego. You know, he does portray, you know, Mary Jane like with the kiss, because then he goes up and kisses, you know, Gwen Stacy, doing the same thing, hanging upside down when you know, Mary Jane thought that was their thing. I liked all that. I like Sandman, you know, just wanting to be with his family, his daughter, you know, trying to get money. I don't remember exactly what he was trying to get money for, but I know it was for family. Like, he wasn't meant to be pure evil. He was just a guy who went to jail and then turned into Sandman, and then he could get money easier that way. You know, of course, you know, the Harry Osborn is just out for revenge. You know, his dad never really accepted him. He accepted Peter over him. So then, you know, he goes out for revenge on Spider-Man or Peter. The whole Eddie Brock Venom thing, you know, Tobey Maguire, while he's being emo Spider-Man does get him fired because he does fake a photo with Spider-Man. And so he is now out for revenge on Spider-Man. Not at all how Venom is done, but I mean, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of coincidences in here of just things being there at the exact moment when they need to be. The meteorite crashing right by Peter, with Venom in it. The Peter up in the tower, tearing the costume off, and then it falling on Eddie. There seems to be a lot of that type of stuff going on. But I mean, for the story, I guess it kind of works. I like that Gwen is in this. I've always liked Bryce Dallas Howard. That's Ron Howard's daughter. So it's got some decent stuff. There is a great falling room scene, or I should say a floor in a building where everything is going towards them. And Gwen is in that. So it's got a lot of good stuff. But yeah, like, see, this is cool with Spider-Man punching through Sandman. I think I'm gonna have to rewatch this. I haven't watched this in a long time. And Tobey Maguire is just kind of a weird guy, but so I want to, because so let's get out of this. And so this is because I haven't shown this yet, because this leads directly into something else. So 2-disc special edition Spider-Man 3. Once again, it's got its case, which is nice. So it's 2-disc DVD with over 6 hours of special features. And on this, I disagree with this review. This is from Access Hollywood. Spidey's back and better than ever. I do believe that would be a paid review there, I think. So disc 1 has filmmaker, cast, and commentaries. I don't think this would be like a full, honest audio commentary. If this is Sam Raimi on here, I don't think I don't know. I've never heard the audio commentary on this, so maybe he would be honest with like, yeah, I'm not a Venom fan. I didn't want him in this, but the studio forced me to do it. Or if he would just be, oh yeah, Venom. Yeah, I like him. There's also bloopers, music video, photo galleries. And then disc 2, Grains of Sand Building Sandman, Reimagining the Goblin, Covered in Black, Creating Venom, On Location, Inside the Editing Room, 3 Stunts, and more. So, so this is interesting. So I guess this is like a CD-ROM. I've never used this. It says iActivity card. It's definitely a disc. I wonder if this will. And then it just has some advertisements on the back. And then you have the feature film here, and then the special features on this one. Does it say? Sometimes it will list. No. Well, I guess the and more might be this. So if you end up buying this and you get it on DVD, see if this is in it. I've never played it, but it definitely goes into a computer. So, forgot that was in there. These days with streaming, if I'm watching these, I just go straight to, well, I guess now it would be Disney. But here's the interesting thing with this one. And this is why I want to rewatch it. So kind of like Spider-Man 2.0, I just found out about this. There's an editor's cut of Spider-Man 3. So this is so Spider-Man 2.1. So I guess this is kind of more of a director's cut, maybe. And Spider-Man 3 is an editor's cut, which I've never seen. Doing some research and all that type of stuff, I found this and I thought, whoa, wait a minute, an editor's cut. So let's go back to Wiki, because I did find it. And it's right up here. So for the 10th anniversary of Spider-Man 3 in 2017, Sony released a version of the film titled Spider-Man 3 Editor's Cut, which was included in a Spider-Man limited edition Blu-ray collection. I need this collection. I am going to do this to remind myself. Released on June 13th. In this version of the film, some scenes are shifted around or have been completely removed. And there are 3 new scenes, 3 alternate climax sequences, and 1 extended scene. This version also features previously unused music from Christopher Young. Spider-Man 3 Editor's Cut was later retitled with the Spider-Man Legacy Collection 4K Blu-ray box set. I don't have a 4K yet, so I'll have to look for this limited edition. Wow, okay. This sounds like it's almost a different movie. All right. I'm going to look into getting that one. It was kind of like when I was buying the Superman movies, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I found out that there's 3 versions of Superman the movie. There's Superman the movie, the theatrical version. There's Superman the movie, the TV version. And then there's Superman the movie, kind of like the Donner cut, which is a combination of the theatrical version and the TV version. So it's longer than the theatrical version, but shorter than the TV version. And I think that's the standard one that you now get. So if you were to order on Blu-ray Superman the movie, that's what you get, is that kind of like that middle of the theatrical and the TV version. Richard Donner supervised that cut. So it's kind of like how there's 2 versions of Superman 2. There's the theatrical version and then the Donner cut. I really wish that they would have done that for Superman 3 and Superman 4, because the TV version of both Superman 3 and Superman 4 are much better than the theatrical versions. So it would have been nice if those got released. But so with that, so I guess because there were so many problems, even though this movie surprisingly made more money than the other ones, they're like, yeah, let's just walk away. We'll just walk away. We'll just leave it alone. So then that brings us to the reboot and another origin story. So we know how Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man. He gets bitten by the radioactive spider. But they decided to do it again here. And I think, is there one in this? This is my movie right here. No, I think it's just the skyline. I don't think the villain is in his eyes. I think it's just the New York skyline. So yeah, we don't get the villain in this one. But I was happy with them bringing out another one. I kind of like that it wasn't connected to the other three because then they could be their own thing. I do like Andrew Garfield. To be honest, he's actually my favorite Spider-Man. I love that he got his redemption in Spider-Man No Way Home. And so let's take a look at Wiki here. So let's get out of Spider-Man 3. Okay, now where are we at? So there's Spider-Man 3. So then we have Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Iron Man. So we got that. So now we're getting in the Marvel Studios because going back, Incredible Hulk would technically be the first Marvel Studios distributed by Universal at this point. But it is. I still include Hulk. I do think Hulk is canon. They kind of do a retcon at the beginning of it, but I, through just kind of these like quick flashbacks through the credits, I still count Hulk. So then we get Incredible Hulk, Punisher Warzone, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Iron Man 2, Thor. So now we're getting into stuff like Lionsgate, still 20th Century Fox, now Marvel, X-Men First Class, Captain America First Avenger, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, which is actually my favorite out of the two because it's so fucking crazy, Columbia, The Avengers, now the big movie from Marvel. The first Marvel Studios film distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. And it was nominated for 1 Oscar. So there we go. This is it. The true absolute beginning of Marvel and Disney, which then leads us into The Amazing Spider-Man, still Columbia, 2012. And so this one is directed by Mark Webb, who I am very hit and miss with. 5,000 days of 5,000. That'd be a lot of days. 500 Days of Summer is brilliant. It is excellent. So he then did Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, a film called Gifted, which I've never watched. Oh, which has Chris Evans. That's interesting. Then he did The Only Living Boy in New York, which I believe is a song from Simon and Garfunkel. Then he did Snow White, one of my all-time favorite bad movies, with an actress who can't act and an actress who destroyed her own film, Rachel Zegler, who is an absolute living nightmare. And now I guess he has something coming out called Day Drinker. But he's also done television, a lot of television, it looks like. Music. Oh, a lot of music videos. Oh, a ton of music videos. Look at all that. That's a lot of music videos, man. He's still doing it today. No, 2017. That looked like that was his last one. But I think I saw a Metallica one in here. But I'm not going to spend too much time. Just go back up. I think it said that he did I Disappear. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time looking for this thing. Yeah, I don't see it, but I thought maybe that's what he said. So I was excited that he was directing this because he had only done 500 Days of Summer. And so this budget is 200 to 230 million. This has my favorite look for the costume. I still think this is my favorite one, even though I do like the black costume. From Spider-Man 3, I think the texture and everything looks the best in this. So its box office was 758.7 million. So it made money. It made dough. So going down and looking at the cast, we'll just start it down here. So Andrew Garfield, I really think that he got screwed by not getting The Amazing Spider-Man 3. But of course, he kind of caused this by himself too. He badmouthed the company. He kind of badmouthed the film. He didn't show up to events and dinners. He was, from the videos that I've seen, he seemed to be very enthusiastic at like red carpet signings and all that type of stuff. So I don't know, maybe he just didn't want to do it after the second one, but he just seemed to be very kind of, I don't know, negative with promoting the second film. And that's probably one of the reasons, and it underperformed. Well, the second one underperformed, but the first one did well. But I still do like him as Spider-Man. Emma Stone, my God, is she gorgeous in this. She's Gwen Stacy. She is absolutely beautiful in this. And it is, wow, she is, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were dating during this. I don't think Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst were dating. I don't think. It always seems to be that Spider-Man and then the lead actress date, but I don't think they were. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right on that. But these two were dating, so they had a really good chemistry together. And she's still my favorite out of all of like Spider-Man's girlfriends. I do think Emma Stone, I can always watch something with her in it, and her portrayal of Gwen Stacy, I think, is just awesome. And then I believe it's Ray Fiennes is, Dr. Kirk Connors. He's the Lizard. My disappointment, and if you could see this on your screen, is the Lizard looks like a lizard, but he's got the white lab coat on. They didn't do that in this, and that's very disappointing. He looks more like a human lizard. He doesn't have the snout, which the lizard should have, and he's only in the lab coat once. They should have given him the snout. They should have given him the lab coat. Give it maybe half the movie, quarter of the movie, and then it gets torn off or he rips it off. But this kind of sets it up for the villains don't need to look like the villains from the comic books. That the Lizard has always been one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, and I was very disappointed that he didn't look like the character. I've now come to accept these types of things, that just things I like will not look like the comic. So, and that's movies and TV, Marvel or DC. So Emma Stone looks like she also works for Oscorp. We have Dennis Leary plays her dad, George Stacy, and who's very good in this. I liked him quite a bit. Campbell Scott, who is one of my favorites, plays Richard Parker. So that would be his dad, which would be Peter's dad. Oscorp Connor. I think I don't know how to pronounce his last Khan. I don't know. Irfan Khan. Is it he? I think he's in Jurassic World, and then he gets killed. I think that's him. Martin Sheen plays Ben Parker. That's a good job. He does a good job. He tries to deliver that with responsibility speech, which doesn't work, even though it is in the comic of what he says, more or less. It still just comes off as a ripoff. Sally Field, from what I understand, did this as a favor to a friend of hers who's a casting agent. So, as I'm sure she was probably happy that this didn't go to a part 3. And she's, Aunt May, but she's looking pretty good there. I mean, and she's in these movies. I always had a crush when I was a kid on Sally Field, Smokey and the Bandit and some other movies that she was in. Always dug her. She's looking good. And then Mbeth Davies is Mary Parker. And then Chris, I have no idea how to pronounce his last name, is Flash Thompson, who's the bully. Some other people that are in this, we got, C. Thomas Howell plays a guy on a bridge. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's just like this kind of nothing role that he's in. Stan Lee, of course, is Michael Matisse. Oh, okay, yeah, he plays a mysterious man who talks to Connors in his prison cell during the end credits. Anybody else worth really mentioning? Oh, Skylar Gizondo is in this, but it doesn't say what. Portrays Gwen's mother. And some of these people, I just don't know who they are. But I enjoyed this. It definitely has its moments. I think all the stuff with what? I tried not to do that. Get out of that. What? Get out of that. Why did that do that? Main? What if I click on main? Lock? Oh my God. Let's get out of this. Okay. Won't click on that again. There we go. I do think that this definitely has some good scenes in it, even though it is a mess. And the second one is an even bigger mess. And I heard that this was the Spider-Man 4 script, more or less. Because they were going to use like the lizard and stuff like that in it. I do like the interaction with Spider-Man and everyone around him. So this is, so I got this on Blu-ray. So The Amazing Spider-Man. It's the Blu-ray DVD Ultraviolet edition. It's got all this other stuff on it that I've never used and have no idea what some of this is. It does have its slip case, which is nice. It's got a thicker case. And this is Blu-ray exclusives. The Amazing Spider-Man second screen app. Download the app to your iPad or Sony. Okay, go. Rite of Passage, The Amazing Spider-Man Reborn. It's a 90-minute in-depth making of. Pre-visual sequences. Image progressive reels. And then it also has deleted scenes, audio commentary, stunt rehearsals, the Oscorp archives, production art gallery. The best Spider-Man yet. And that's by Newsweek. I'm not going to agree with that one, but okay. But it's a good start to a reboot. So what do we have here? So this must be the download. Skippy. Oh, Skippy the peanut butter? Okay. I don't really know. So that's what the front is. And then it talks about the other Spider-Man movies. Okay. So that's what the sticker was on the front. This must be for that ultraviolet. Oh, and then we got disc 1 is the movie, I would assume. And then disc 2. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, there's 3 discs. So disc 1 would be the movie. That's Blu-ray. Disc 2, special features, Blu-ray. And then DVD for Spider-Man, for The Amazing Spider-Man. This one does have... Oh, it's like a skyline for New York. I do like that New York is like a character in these movies. So then, if I get this back in, come on, John, don't ruin it. Just get it in there. Come on, man. Yeah, some Skippy peanut butter and then the ultraviolet. That's what those 2 things were in there. Um, so I gave ratings for 1, 2, and so I didn't give a rating for 3. 3 would maybe I did for Spider-Man 3. That would do a 3, but maybe that editor's cut would maybe make it a 3.5 or maybe even 4 because it sounds very interesting. The Amazing Spider-Man, I would give this a 4 out of 5. I think it's not great. It's not perfect. But it does a good job. But with that being said, we do have, I gotta think. We do have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And now we're back at having the villains in his eye here. Electro is there, but then it looks like on a building maybe. We also have the new Green Goblin. So gotta think about this one. So before I made this video, I watched a whole bunch of videos. People talking about all 3 movies, people just talking about 1 movie. I should probably find something about these different cuts. The Spider-Man 2.1 I've seen. So that one I've already watched, but I haven't watched the Spider-Man 3 editor's cut. So even though it does tell us on Wikipedia what it is, maybe I should try to find a review for that. But I did watch a lot of videos on these movies. And I don't know. So I don't forget. Let's look at this first. So The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And whenever I can, always get the slipcover. And it says, only on Blu-ray, additional scene, Peter meets his father. Oh yeah, that's one of the deleted scenes, is Peter's dad never died. Plus 12 deleted scenes and more. And then you get that ultraviolet thing. So Blu-ray, DVD, digital HD. And this one does. It's got Electro as its villain. It's got Green Goblin or New Goblin. And then it also has Rhino. So we get the villain at the beginning in a truck, and then at the end we get him in the actual suit. So, and this one, so the Blu-ray exclusive, 9 additional deleted scenes with commentary by the director, including Peter meets his father. The wages of, so I think that's only on the Blu-ray. But then it says wages of heroism, making the Amazing Spider-Man 2, over 100 minutes of immersive featurettes detailing the heroic efforts to bring the Amazing Spider-Man 2 to life. Pardon me. Also includes filmmakers' commentary, 4 deleted scenes with commentary, and the Alicia Keys music video. This one says, epic, gripping, and spectacularly entertaining. That's from the New York Daily Times. That it should really read epic, gripping, amazing, entertaining, or entertainment, maybe. It's mastered in 4K. Oh my God, they'll put anything in these. Okay. So DVD, Blu-ray, the 2-disc, and then get this. Food. They're giving you food. Let's open this whole thing. Okay, this is Is this all food? Okay, there's Shutterfly for like a photo book for pictures. There is food to make sandwiches. There is Klondike Gourmet, something from Green Giant, and then Beato's Original Bean Snacks, then White Castle Burgers. There's a pizza. This is kind of cool. It's a pizza that looks like a web. Even, yeah, right there. That's okay. That I like. And then Baskin Robbins. Be your own amazing. Save energy and fight climate change. My God. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's move on then to Wikipedia here. All right. So where do we leave off? Okay. So now we got Iron Man 3, Wolverine, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: Winter Soldier. Now we're down to Spider-Man 2. Still Columbia. All right. Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Oh, internationally titled as The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Rise of Electro. 2014. Still directed by Mark Webb. Oh, God, Alex Kurtzman. I cannot stand Alex Kurtzman. He's done some decent stuff. He was one of the writers on Mission Impossible 3. He directed The Mummy with Tom Cruise, which I liked, but then he destroyed Star Trek. I can't stand this guy. He's destroyed Star Trek. Ugh. And James Vanderbilt. Oh my God. Okay, well, Zodiac, which is really good, he wrote. Independence Day Resurgence. Ooh. Okay. Music is by Hans Zimmer. He's good. 142 minutes. So we're getting longer here. So The Amazing Spider-Man, I didn't look that up. There's not a date on it. Oh, wait. 136 minutes. This is 142 minutes. Spider-Man 3, I don't think I gave, is 139. So they just keep getting longer. So its budget between 200 and 293 million, it made 717 million. So it made money. It made money. They seem to just keep going up. And so if it keeps, so if this is 717, what was, oh, it is lower. 717 to 758. So The Amazing Spider-Man 2 should have made more than The Amazing Spider-Man. That might explain why they didn't come back for another one, on top of everything that I did mention, like with Andrew Garfield and stuff. So, yeah, it's not that much of a difference, but it just, I guess they just didn't consider it to be worth it, I guess. So we got Andrew Garfield back, Peter Parker, the beautiful Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. Now we got Jamie Foxx as Max Dillon, Electro. So like I said, I've just come to accept that the movies are not going to be like the comic books. They're not going to have the storylines. They're not going to have what the characters look like. They look like it very little to none. And at times they will take the movie character and turn that into the comic book character. I thought Electro looked fine in this. He does that. This picture right here looks like it's from a cartoon. I'm sorry, from the comic book, but the original Electro is pretty silly looking. I mean, he is. We got Campbell Scott back as the dad. I'm not sure how to pronounce. It's Colm. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he plays Donald Mencken. He's the vice president of Oscorp, a little bit of a villain. Paul Giamatti, who I really like. I'm not even going to pronounce his name. Russian name is the Rhino, but he's the machine version of the Rhino. But I liked how crazy he is. He's very out of control, over the top. I liked him. Felicity Jones, she is going to be Felicia Harding. And I guess if they were going to do a part 3, she would have been Black Cat. Sally Field, of course, May Parker. And then we have, Dane DeHaan. He's the new Harry Osborn Green Goblin. So they do call him the Green Goblin. And he's Norman's son. The dad dies very quickly in this. And he says that Harry has the same disease. Over time, Norman is destroyed by the disease. In a matter of like minutes, Harry gets it. It makes no sense. Part 2, I actually enjoy. Amazing Spider-Man 2, I actually enjoy more than I do the first one, because it is so bad. It is so insane. It is so crazy. It so doesn't make any sense that I actually enjoy it more. And then, yeah, so you get her back playing Mary Parker. Marta Coates plays Ashley Kafka. There's the Ravencroft Institute. BJ Novak is in this. You would know him from The Office. He is Alistair Smythe. I guess he was supposed to pop up later on. Yes, Skylar, there he is again. Reprise their roles from The Amazing Spider-Man. And then you get uncredited appearances from Chris Cooper. That's Norman Osborn. You also get Dennis Leary back as George Stacy. Of course, Stan Lee. Michael Matisse is the Man in the Shadows. He is now credited as Gustav Fears, also known as the Gentleman. And then, Adie Bryant as the woman dressed as the Statue of Liberty. Okay. The Man in the Shadows at the end of this he is the one that is walking down in Oscorp, and you see all the different costumes for like the Rhino, the Falcon, all that stuff. So yeah, Hans Zimmer. But this is what it is. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 grossed $203.6 billion United. Okay, so for a worldwide release or worldwide gross of $716.9 million. Deadline Hollywood calculated the net profit of the film to be $70.38 million, making it one of the top 20 most profitable films of 2014. But I guess they just didn't. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 had the second highest domestic opening of 2014, behind Captain America: Winter Soldier. guess it just didn't make enough. I don't think it got good reviews. So, yeah. And I've come to like both, just like Spider-Man 3. I have come to enjoy both of these, both The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've come to enjoy them. Like I said, I would rather watch part 2 over the first one just because it is more insane. A lot of people don't like the look of Goblin or Green Goblin. I actually do. I don't think he looks bad at all. And I think Electro looks good. I like the look of the Rhino. In fact, here, let's remove this and I can put up. So this is a picture of the Rhino at the end of the movie. I like this big ass suit. I dig this. I like that he's like a huge Rhino tank. I just think is awesome. I really enjoy it. And of course, we get the great ending of this, which goes nowhere. It's we got Rhino destroying everything in the street. We got the little kid who comes out, who's confronting Rhino in like the Spider-Man suit, which I think is great. And then Spider-Man comes down, talks to the little kid, which is great. And then they Spider-Man and Rhino, and he gets down on like all fours, Rhino does, and then they start to fight. And Spider-Man swings, I think it's a manhole cover at Rhino, and boom, it goes to credits. I was so bummed. And I'm like, okay, this better be the way that they're going to start part 3. Nope. Nope. Because there was no part 3. So yeah, that's the way that goes right there. Now, I guess they just didn't like, what they saw, what Columbia saw. So then they make the deal with Marvel. And with that, they then get, Spider-Man Homecoming. And which is my favorite of the new Spider-Man movies. I guess you could say the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I love the character of the Vulture in this. I think is great. I really like Michael Keaton in this. I like that they will take somebody who is in DC and bring them into Marvel, or Marvel will take, or DC will take somebody from Marvel and bring them into their movies. So I like that Michael Keaton could be Batman, and that he could also go off and be the Vulture. He was completely wasted in The Flash, but it did have the best Supergirl in my opinion. So, but I really like this one. I still think it's the best one. And I like the way Michael Keaton looks. He does, that's the coat that the Vulture has in, the comic book. I like that. I think that to a degree, he is justified in doing what he is doing. That, after what happened to in Avengers, I always get confused. Is it New York or Chicago? I think it's New York. What happened in New York? The Battle of New York. Am I right on that? God, age is horrible. I could watch a movie 2 hours ago and I would forget the whole thing almost if I came to do a video on it. But he's taking all of that, machinery and parts and all that stuff, and they're collecting all of it to sell and stuff like that. And of course, it's Tony's people. It's Stark Enterprises comes in and basically just takes over. And we find this later on through many of the movies that, all these people, especially in the new Spider-Man films, all these people got fucked over by Tony. And so they're coming back for revenge. So we wouldn't have some of these villains if Tony wasn't telling his people to go do these things. And that's what happens with Michael Keaton is he gets screwed over. He kind of loses, everything. And then I think it's 7 years later, and he's restarted it. He's got the wife, the kid, and everything now. And Peter has a crush on his daughter. And then that's when he does, the Vulture comes up, and I think he looks great in this costume. I just love the look at that because it also makes sense that he has the fans on it. I just think he looks great in this. I love this look. And which is probably my favorite scene in this is when the Vulture finds out that Peter is Spider-Man. And this is when they're going to the prom. And the daughter goes inside, and Peter's still in the car because, Michael Keaton, being the dad, goes, I want to talk to Peter for a second. And he realizes, he's just like, okay, look, I know you're Spider-Man. Stop it. Stop what you're doing, and we'll be good, But if you don't, we're going to have a problem. That scene, I think, is one of the best scenes in any Marvel movie. I love that scene. It is 100% awesome. And I absolutely love it. When I rewatched the movie recently, I went back and watched it probably like 2 or 3 times. I went, man, this is a damn good scene. So let's take a look at what I have here, because this is a collection. So I own this. So it's got all 3 movies on it. So it starts down here with Homecoming, then it goes into Far From Home, and then No Way Home. And not a fan of this. So it's got 2 spots, but 3 Blu-rays, which means these 2 discs are on top of one another, which sucks because they could get scratched. And then there's 1 disc over here. So this will be Homecoming, this will be Far From Home, and then No Way Home. Not a fan of that. I'll probably maybe at some point have to buy a new case where you could put all 3 separately. Oh, and this is what? Blu-ray and digital, 3 movie collection. And so it's got its little thing here. But I like this. And I bought them all as a collection because I wasn't collecting these. I was not a fan of Marvel stuff for a long time. And so I did own the Raimi Spider-Man movies. I owned the Garfield Spider-Man movies, and then I stopped. And then I decided to sit down one day and just to do a marathon, and loved all 3. Like I said, Homecoming being my favorite one. And so they saw that they had a collection, and so I picked that up. What special features these have, I have no idea. They are not listed. No idea. I'm assuming there's something on these. I don't know. But yeah, nothing is listed on the back, just the credits. So what are you going to do? So let's take a look at the Wikipedia. All right. So here we are. It's Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which underperforms. Then we have X-Men Days of Future Past, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Fantastic Four, which I think is underrated, Fan 4 Stick, Deadpool, Captain America Civil War, the first appearance of the new Spider-Man, which also has the great line with Aunt May and Tony, where Tony is hitting on Aunt May, and then Peter and Tony go into the bedroom, and Tony says that his aunt is, I'm misquoting this, I think, is like unusually attractive or something, or oddly attractive or something like that, because Marissa Tomei in this is gorgeous. And she and Holly Hunter are two of the older actresses who just keep getting more beautiful as they get older. God, and they're good actresses too. And it's just like, oh, Marissa Tomei's in this. My God, she's hot. And she's hot so far in all three of them. I think she's supposed to be in the new one, but it's probably a flashback or something. And then we get into X-Men Apocalypse, Doctor Strange, Logan, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and then Spider-Man Homecoming. And this is a Columbia Pictures Marvel Studio collaborations, but distributed through Sony. So this is 2017 is when this came out. So this is directed by John Watts. So let's take a look. What did he do? Because I was not familiar with him. Okay. So he did the movie Clown. Well, that's a horror film. I haven't seen it, but I know a lot of people liked it. Wow, that's weird to go off of. Cop Car with Kevin Bacon, who's also in Marvel movies. So these two movies got him what they call the home movies for Spider-Man. Wow. Then he did a film called Wolves. Oh, that's Clooney and Brad Clooney and Brad Pitt. I've heard that's not bad. Oh, he did my least favorite, Final Destination, Bloodlines, but I know a lot of people liked it. Oh, he just wrote it. And then Never Change, which I don't know about. So yeah, he did not direct Final Destination or Never Change. But it's weird that Clown and Cop Car is what got him Spider-Man Homecoming. He's an actor in a couple movies. Worked on a few others. 2021, Venom Let There Be Carnage. Directed mid-credits scene uncredited. He's directed some television. Star Wars. Ah, this is how he got it. Music videos. He got the job through music videos. He also has done, a bunch of commercials. Okay. That would make sense. Music videos and commercials. There we go. That's how, like, Michael Bay, Tony Scott, Ridley Scott, all of them got their like first time featured gigs are from music videos and commercials. So that actually makes sense. Okay. So looking through here. So its budget is 175 million and its box office was 880 million.9. Made some money. So let's go down to cast. Okay. So Tom Holland, who I believe was a teenager at the time, so he matched more of what Spider-Man would be. Of course, as Peter Parker's Spider-Man, a 15-year-old. So he might have been like 15 or 16 when he did this. Feige and Amy Pascal were impressed with his performances in The Impossible. Oh, that's a good movie. In The Heart of the Sea, which is like a Moby Dick thing. Wolf Hall, looks like it's a TV series. Okay. Michael Keaton plays Andre Toomes, the Vulture. Does a great job. And let's keep going here. Jon Favreau is in this as Happy Hogan. Gwyneth Paltrow, we got as Pepper Potts. Zendaya, she's Michelle or MJ. I don't know. Zendaya just doesn't do it for me. she just doesn't. She just doesn't do it for me. I don't think she's a great actress. She's pretty, but she just doesn't do it. I have seen her in Euphoria. I watched her, of course, in the Spider-Man movies. She's in Dune. She's, to me, just the female version of Pedro Pascal, who is a good actor, but she just has like 3 or 4 facial expressions, and that's about it. She just doesn't do it for me. I'm just kind of over her, and people may disagree with me, but I just don't. Yeah, I just don't really care. Donald Glover is in this as Aaron Davis. Ned as Ned. Jacob Batalona. Batalone. I'm not sure how to say his last name. Ned. Okay. So this is Peter's love interest. So Linda Harrier. She is really good looking. Yeah, Toombs' daughter. Tony or Flash. Oh, he's the bully in this. Tony Revel. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. Flash. So he's the bully. Who else do we have? So I'm gonna have problems with some of these names. But he's supposed to be Shocker. Bokum Woodby. Versions of Fine Daily. Oh yeah, so she's in there. So this is the thing. Marissa Tomei, I think, is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Great actress too. When I was looking at like the original Spider-Man trilogy and then the duology of The Amazing Spider-Man, it was like Kirsten Dunst. It's Emma Stone. But for me, Aunt May is the hot one in this, the older actress, because she's so gorgeous. Like I said, I don't get the thing with Zendaya. I just don't understand it. And but whatever. I just think that she is absolutely gorgeous in this. And I like that she is in all 3 of these movies. That she's in Civil War, so she's in even more movies. Of course, we got Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Iron Man. There are Carrie Condon, Chris Evans reprised the role for Friday. Okay, Captain America. Oh yeah, Jennifer Connelly provides the voice of Karen, which I find to be funny, which is the AI suit that Tony gives. Why it's called Karen, that cracks me up. Gary Weeks. Plays Jackson Price. Okay, so Jackson Price plays the first Shocker. Some of these people just don't have pictures, so I don't really recognize them as much. So, but yeah, I think this is by far the best one out of the 3. Obviously I haven't seen the 4th one yet. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I could watch probably Homecoming anytime. There's also the great Ferris Bueller spoof in it where Spider-Man, because he doesn't have the like the buildings to attach the webs to, it's more of a suburban area with trees and houses. So he has to run through people's backyards, which is a spoof on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So I thought that was pretty funny. But then then we can go to after that, of course, we would have this I thought was kind of funny, because so here is Toombs and Vulture, and then Toombs and Vulture. The one on top, Spider-Man Homecoming, 9 years ago. This is what he looked like. For some reason, And I guess that they were hoping that this, that more people would go see the movie. They did shoot a scene where Toomes, is in Morbius. And, the costumes are a little different. For some reason, Vulture did go into this Spider-Man-less world, even though Spider-Man is brought up. But I guess for some reason the costume came along with him or whatever. But yeah, it's Spider-Man Homecoming 9 years ago. And then, so this, I guess this would have been 2022 is when this picture was done or something like that. And then Morbius, April 1st, April Fool's Day, 2021. So yeah, somehow my favorite character from the current Spider-Man movies made an appearance in Morbius, which is perfectly fine with me. It is such a bad movie. I have no problem with that. I think it's hilarious, actually, that they did that. So, but with that being said, let's get to Spider-Man Far From Home. And what's funny with this poster is Spider-Man is no longer, like, we're not seeing, the eyes are not reflecting the villain that's in front of him. Instead, we have the villain, and reflected in his dome is Spider-Man. So they're kind of doing the opposite of that. And I like that. So once again, this would be part of this here. So it's that one. And which I really enjoyed. So let's take a look at Wikipedia. So we got down to way down here. Okay, so there's Homecoming. So Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War. We're still with 20th Century Fox, with Deadpool 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Marvel, Venom, Columbia, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame. Then we get into X-Men Dark Phoenix. And then we have Far From Home. Once again, Columbia, Marvel, distributed by Sony Pictures. And this is 2019. Same director. Budget is 160 million, and this hit over $1 billion. This is what Sony was waiting for. This is it. Box office. We'll just say a little over 1 billion. So yeah, this is a little over 1 billion. First time for Sony. And who does the music? Michael. I think he does the music on all three. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, though. So our cast, we got Tom Holland back as Peter Parker. Samuel L. Jackson is now in this, Nick Fury. Zendaya is back, MJ. Kobe. Oh, she's hot. She's from Avengers. Yeah, she is really hot. Kobe. I have no idea. There are certain things because of me being dyslexic and old. Smumblers. Marina Hill. Jon Favreau is back as Happy Hogan. Oh, he's hilarious in this. He's the one who keeps thinking ghosts are happening. So J.B. Smoove, Julius Dell, he is hilarious. Jacob Batalon is back as Ned. Martin Starr is hilarious. As Roger Harrington. So Tony Revelari, God, I cannot pronounce some of these names. He's back as Flash. Marissa Tomei is back as May Parker. And then Jake Gyllenhaal, the great Jake Gyllenhaal, is back as Quentin Beck Mysterio. I really, at first, I hated this, that he started off as a good guy and then went into a bad guy. Once again, remembering, because he brings up the elementals, and but I do like that near the end, once he gets the glasses from Peter that Tony Stark gave him, that he does point out to all of his people that are making this entire show happen, that they're all people that got screwed over by Tony Stark, including Ralphie May, from A Christmas Story, which was in the original Iron Man, I believe. He gets yelled at. And I enjoyed all of that. Now, when I'm rewatching it, I like it. Because like I said, I've just accepted that the movies aren't the comic books. They're just not going to be. So I do like this. So I thought that was pretty good. I think this is the one where it's at the end where we find out that, I think is it Maria Hill? I know it's Nick Fury, that they end up being those, what are they? The Krull? I think that's what they're called, the Krull. I really don't like them. I'm blanking on exactly what I think they're called, the Krull, something like that. But from like Secret Invasion, I just do not like them at the end. And then you find out that Nick Fury has been sitting up in space, and I guess that's for the Marvels. But some other people, let's see. Isn't Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home also Bumblebee? George Daniel Lindeborg Jr.? Kind of looks like Miles Morales. Huh. Oh yeah, Peter Billingsley. Yeah, from his role from Iron Man, where he gets yelled at by Tony. J.K. Simmons. Yeah, just some of these people I'm just not. Sharon Glenn makes an uncredited cameo appearance in the post-credits scene. Oh, Skrulls. Talos and Soren reprising the roles from Captain America. Oh, okay. So it's not the hot chick that was working with S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. My mistake on that. Yeah, the actress who's also in How I Married Your Mother. So, yeah, I don't know. It's images from previous movies. Okay. So I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I ended up liking the twist. I thought was not bad. And this time around, I like the fight. I like them being in another country. I like the comedy that was put in it, because it wasn't really slapstick comedy. Is this the one where one of the teachers calls Captain America a terrorist? That they're watching like an old VHS tape of Captain America, and he calls Captain America a terrorist. I think it's hilarious. It's this one or it's Homecoming, I'm pretty sure. But that's funny. So yeah, so I really enjoyed this one. And so let's get out of this. So Spider-Man Homecoming for me, 1 out of 5 would be a 5. Far From Home would be a 4.5. Yeah, would be a 4.5. But Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think I want to say a 4.5 on that one, because that then would lead us to No Way Home, which I know a lot of people are going to be mad about this, but to me, I think is the worst one. Um, I think the writing is horrible in this. I love seeing the three men's spiders together. I love that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man gets his redemption, where in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Gwen dies. And basically, after her dad said, please do not involve her anymore. And then in this one, he saves MJ. This is also kind of his part 3, when it would kind of almost be also Tobey Maguire's part 4, since his part 4 and then Andrew Garfield's 3 were canceled. I like the villains in this, except that it seems like there were stipulations. I think Willem Dafoe was completely on board, and Alfred Molina were completely on board. The actors for the Lizard and Sandman, they're all digital. And I believe they just did voices in a studio. That I did not like. I think Fox was 60% on board. And because he never was really Electro. Like he's like Jamie Foxx is like, I'll do it, but I don't want to get in the full makeup. So I have to be in like regular clothes and stuff, but I'll still do the Electro type of thing. Which I found to be a little, and I believe that this was like a whole COVID thing too, that a lot of the people weren't even in the same room together. But I did enjoy it. I will probably rewatch it before going to see Brand New Day. But to me, this is very poorly written. It is one of the worst written ones I've seen. I do not believe for a second that Doctor Strange would even entertain this idea of, hey, can you make everybody forget that I'm Spider-Man? I think that he would just say, you're a big boy now. You've helped save the world. Just friggin' deal with it. I don't think that he would go through all of this stuff and be kind of manipulated or talked into it by a kid. I just don't think that. To me, it just shows that Doctor Strange is an idiot, that he's just stupid. Why would you do this? So let's take a look then. All right, so where were we? Homecoming, Far From Home. Now we have New Mutants, which is also 20th century, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Eternals. Ooh, I've come to like that one a little bit better too. It's just 3 hours, man. And then Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's, oh, you know what's not on here? Are the animated movies. Interesting. Because it ends with Morbius here. Let's see, wait. Am I wrong? No, they're not here. I wonder if they're on a different... Wow, where are they? Oh, here they are. Animated films, theatrical release films. Okay, so we're going to have to come back down here. I own Big Hero 6 too. I own a lot of these movies. Okay. And then there's the upcoming film Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is next year, it looks like. Okay. So back up to here. That was weird that they wouldn't add them in because they are movies. They're just not live action movies. Okay. Morbius. Okay. Spider-Man No Way Home. All right. So this came out in 2021. I know people love this film. I know they love this movie. I just thought it was horribly written. It's just continuity errors, inconsistencies, logic, character motivations. Like I get that Peter Parker is young and he's like, make everybody forget about me. And then, and then Doctor Strange, who, like I said, I don't believe for 2 seconds would allow this. Because it also is, so he casts the spell. Everybody forgets him. But that's just in their brain. What about everything else? What about all the photographs that are Spider-Man or, Peter Parker, newspapers, cell phone footage, notes, journals, all this type of stuff that, like, you would think that MJ and Ned would have pictures of the three of them together, and that once their memories are erased, they would be like, wait a minute, who's this guy? Wait, why is he in these pictures with us? He's come into the shop a couple times. Who is he? It's never mentioned unless this, spell of forgetfulness also includes removing everything physical. It doesn't make sense. It is poorly written. It is horribly written. And I can watch it. It's fun. I enjoy it, but I don't like the cheapness of it, even though it's expensive. I don't like the cheapness. I don't like that Sandman is just the Sandman, that, the lizard is just the lizard. And the reason why the lizard is in the truck through some of this is because they're trying to save money, so they're not going to bring him other places. A lot of this just didn't work for me. And let me see here. So we have two writers. Chris McKenna, writer. Okay. Igor, not bad. Batman Lego movie. Okay. Jumanji, no idea, but it did make money. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Spider-Man Far From Home. No Way Home. Ghosted. That I've heard is awful. But that actress is gorgeous. And Spider-Man Brand New Day. Not a lot to go on there. I mean, well, I guess television. The Mindy Project, Community, American Dad. I mean, what about the other guy? Okay. Same thing. Lego, No Way Home, Jumanji, Wasp. All the same thing. Different television stuff, though. Looks like mostly comedy. Oh, Happy Endings. I love Happy. This is one of the, oh my God, I loved Happy Endings. This is such a great show. So bummed when it got canceled. Okay, great. All right. I mean, it's just not much to go off of movie-wise. But okay. 148 minutes. Well, here we go. Budget, 200 million. People loved it. Maybe I should shut my mouth. My opinion, it was horribly written, but this thing came close to hitting 2 billion, man. So, it's just under 2 billion here. $1,921,000,000. So let's go down to our cast. Of course, Tom Holland, Zendaya, We got new to this now. Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, or Stephen Strange. Ned is back. Jon Favreau is back. Jamie Foxx is back. Willem Dafoe. Alfred Molina. Benedict Wong as Wong. He's always good. The guy who plays Flash is back. Marissa Tomei, but she dies. But I think that she is listed for the new Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire. Ray Fiennes reprises his role as Dr. Curtis. So basically all the footage that is of Sandman and the Lizard, from what I understand, is footage taken from The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3. It's just repurposed. Oh, that's right. Charlie Cox is in this as Matt Murdock. So Daredevil, that's cool. Tom Hardy is in this as Eddie Brock and Venom. It's a total fake out, cameo appearance, mid-credit scene. We think he's in the MCU. He isn't. They just rip him right back. J.K. Simmons, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, so there is some people. I did enjoy it. I just thought it was so poorly written, really poorly written. So, okay, so let's get out of this. I'm going to pause this for a moment. Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. My throat was really, really getting dry, so I had to go grab something to drink. So I had to quickly do that because we're almost there. We're almost home. But to reiterate, I do like No Way Home. I just think it is probably the worst written Spider-Man movie so far. But with that being said, this is something I just found. I think I might have heard of that editor's cut for part 3. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe. But this, I had no idea about. Extended version of Spider-Man No Way Home. What? No idea. Absolutely no idea that this even existed. So I looked under Wikipedia, and there it is. The More Fun Stuff version. Okay. An extended cut of the film subtitled The More Fun Stuff version was announced in June 2022. The re-release celebrated 60 years of Spider-Man in comics and 20 years of Spider-Man in film, and approximately 13 minutes of additional and deleted scenes. The additions included an introduction by Holland, Marguerite, and Garfield. Oh, Holland, Maguire, and Garfield. Additional scenes of Peter and May being integrated by the Department of Damage Control. The scene where Holland's brother, Harry, Holland's brother, Harry, as a thief was cut from the original release. Additional scenes of Peter at school, Bryant interviewing Peter, his teachers, and his classmates. Daily Bugle reports of Peter's first day back at school and the arrivals of Dylan and Marco. Additional scenes in the basement of the New York sanitarium. A scene featuring May, Peter, and the villains in an elevator while on their way to Hogan's apartment. an additional scene with Murdoch and Hogan, additional scenes of the three Peters, and a new post-credit scene, replacing the teaser trailer of Multiverse of Madness, which showcases the effects of Strange's second spell. Huh. The More Fun Stuff version was released in theaters beginning August 31st, 2022 in Indonesia, followed by the United States and Canada, among other countries. On September 1st, oh, my birthday month, and later in several other markets through October 6th. The poster for the extended cut was considered an improvement on the original release's marketing, since it was able to feature all of the characters who were previously kept secret in the lead up to the film's release. Oh, yeah. Since it was able to, okay, previous release. I have no idea how to pronounce this guy's name. At Collider said it was an Avengers-style poster with a perfect blend of multiverse feels combined with the Where's Waldo effect. I don't care about the poster. I want to know about the movie. Epic poster calling out said that the post. Why do I care about the poster? Tell me if they like the movie. Initially promoted. Koi. Yeah, so they just talk about the poster. I don't care about the poster. I just want to know if they like the movie or not, but it doesn't talk about that. So I looked for this. I think you can watch it online, I think, but there's nothing in here saying if you can get it on physical. Okay, wait. Okay, here. Okay, HBO Max. Okay, period. Okay. The More Fun Stuff version was released by Sony Pictures Home Entertainment on digital on October 18th, 2022 as Spider-Man No Way Home extended cut, when it also began streaming on Stars. So I wonder if this is now on Disney. I want to rewatch this. Like I said, before the new movie comes out, I'm going to have to check to see if they have this extended cut. That would be nice if they did. I'm going to definitely see about Spider-Man 3, that editor's cut. Okay. That's the poster for it. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is interesting. So there's two of these to look forward, to try to find. Editor's cut and extended edition. Okay. So now we then would have the animated movies. So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I really liked both of these. They work with the multiverse perfectly. And I'm really looking forward to the next, trying to find my Wikipedia page here. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. That way we can just go straight to it. All right. I loved both of these films. I thought that they were both great. The amount of characters that are in this is perfect. They don't seem to overshadow each other. Miles Morales, I think, is great. He is not Spider-Man. He is Miles Morales. I do believe in the comic books, though, Spider-Man did pass the torch to him to be like the actual Spider-Man, I think. But I'm not following the comics that much these days. But I love everything in this. I think absolutely love everything in this. I mean, was it Spider-Punk is my favorite character in this. I absolutely love Spider-Punk. Being a fan of the Sex Pistols and stuff like that, I thought that he was, hilarious. So it's these are beautifully made. The colors are great. The animation is great. I actually think both of these movies are better than any of the live action films. And I think it'd be very interesting to have Miles Morales show up at the end of the next Spider-Man movie or somewhere in there, kind of bring him into the real world. But since they are working on a third animated film, I don't know. Maybe down the road, maybe once all this reimagining and rebooting and resetting that Marvel is doing, maybe he'll pop up somewhere at some point. I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll even take over for Tom Holland if he wants to split at some point. So let's take a look. And so we got it right here. So 2018, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It is a CGI animation. Won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Okay. Here we got its poster here. So this has 3 directors. I don't want to go down. I don't want to look at each guy. It's just going to take. But let's see. Okay, so for the first guy, what did he do? I only see the Spider-Man. I don't see anything else that he's made. Let's go to the second guy. Rise of the Guardians. Okay. Okay, that's really Rodney. Okay, let's look at him. Pop Star. That was funny. 22 Jump Street is funny. Forgetting Sarah Marshall is funny. Get Him to the Greek is funny. Okay. Yeah, these get a little involved because there's normally like a lot of writers, a lot of directors. Wow. Okay, so its budget is 90 million. It made 395 million. 117 minutes. That's good. You would normally think for something animated it'd be like 90, but this did work. This did work with the whole story that they're doing. It really worked. So let's go down to, and I know some of these people's names I am not going to be able to pronounce. I'm sorry. I mean, Shamik Moore, maybe, is Miles Morales. I'm surprised they didn't get a kid to play this. Jake Johnson is Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Miles' reluctant mentor. Haley Steinfeld is, what is she? Oh, yeah, okay, I recognize her. Yeah. Gwen Stacy, she's Spider-Gwen and Spider-Woman. I like Spider-Gwen. I thought she was a cool character. God, I can never pronounce his name. He's a great actor. I really should learn how to pronounce it. He's won like a couple Academy Awards and shit. Marcella, maybe? Marcella Ollie is Aaron Davis, the Prowler. Brian Tree Henry. Oh, he's good. Is Jefferson Davis. Oh, Lily Tomlin. That's cool. Is May Parker. Luna Lauren Valez is Rio. Oh, I think that's the mom. Yeah. Zoe Kravitz is Mary Jane or MJ Parker. Oh, he's funny. John Mulaney, I think it is. Mulaney is Peter Porker or Spider-Ham. Kamiko Gwen or Kamiko Glenn is Penny Parker. It says SP. Here we go. Nicolas Cage. That's why I love these. He is Peter Parker, but Spider-Man Noir. That's why I love this. Kathleen Hahn. She's Doc Ock's wife. Or Dr. Olivia Octavius. Dr. Octopus. Oh, okay. Liev Schreiber. Wilson Fisk or Kingpin. Cool. Their sixth main character, Chris Pine, is featured as the version of Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Oh, in the Miles dimension. There's a lot of names on here. I'm not going to be able to go through all of these. But yeah, this is really good. Yeah, these are great. Especially Nick Cage and here it's Spider-Man Noir. The TV show is a Spider Noir. So let's get out of here. So I have this as a double. It's DVD. This I definitely want to get on Blu-ray because it looks beautiful. So it's DVD and digital. It's a 2-movie collection, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think it... God, the first one's 140 minutes. Doesn't really give special features. The second one is 117. Both are Sony. And it's got its little digital thing here. And then there's Into the Spider-Verse and then Across the Spider-Verse. So with that being said, let us then look at Into the Spider-Verse. That is a really nice poster right there too. The colors in these are really great. The voices are great. The characters are great because you can have, you know, a Spider-Man pig in these. Why not? They're really, really good. God, I wish that third one would come out. It's been friggin' years, man. And I just don't get why these things take so long at times. I mean, I get that they're animated, but, you know, shit. But I love this one too. I loved both. I so enjoyed the first one, I immediately jumped into the second one. And this was done during that time of, you know, with these that I wasn't really watching Marvel. Excuse me. I really wasn't watching Spider-Man or anything. And I thought, well, why am I going to watch these? They're animated. Why would I watch them? What's the point? Same thing with the DC. Why would I watch the DC animated movies? They're probably made for kids. Oh, they're not. They are definitely not when they're R-rated. These are made aimed at kids, more family, I think. But there are those jokes in there for adults. I just love these things. So let's look at. All right. Where'd it go? Why did I lose it again? Why would it just... Okay, there it goes. Before I get into it, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. In production. See that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was 2013. I'm sorry, 2023. This is 2027. Let's just take a look at this quickly. Looks like at least 2 out of the 3 directors. Nicolas Cage is in there. June 18th, 2027. It's a direct sequel to Across the Spider-Verse. It's the final installment in the Spider-Verse trilogy. Story began developing a sequel to before 2018. Why is this taking so long? The sequel is split into 2 films. Across the Universe and Beyond were being worked on. If they were worked on concurrently, then why isn't it out yet? A lot of stuff about strikes, those stupid strikes. Scheduled to be released in the United States on June 18th, 2027. Takes place immediately after the events of Across the Spider-Verse, following Miles Morales trapped and on the run in an alternate universe while trying to save his family. See if anybody different pops up. Same. Jake. Same. Oh, Jason Schwartzman. Oh, he's playing the Spot. That's cool. Oh. Karen Sony playing Spider-Man India. Okay, Peter Porker's back. Oh yeah, there's Spider-Punk. I love Spider-Punk. He would be my second favorite. You know, from Spider-Man Noir, then it would be Spider-Punk. Andrew Davis. He's the Earth 42 version of Miles' deceased uncle. Nicolas Cage is back. Kimiko Glenn is back. Oscar Isaac. Oh, Spider-Man 2099. Additional cast members reprising their voice roles. Oh, he is in Black Lightning, the Arrowverse show. I like him. He's a black albino. He is very interesting. He is a good actor. He's one of the best things in Black Lightning. And it looks like he plays Tombstone. Yeah, an albino gangster. Greta Lee. Oh, she's cute. I think she was in Tron Ares. Lena, don't have a picture for her. In Artificial Intelligence. Jahal Jerome as the Earth 42 version of the Prowler. Okay. All right. So it looks like stuff is happening. It's just next year. So, okay. All right. And this keeps going back to where I don't want it to go. Okay. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So this is 2023. And still got the same 3 directors, but the third one only has 2 of them. Budget was $125 million, and it made $690.8 million. Yeah. Yeah. These things just make friggin' money. That's why I'm surprised this has not come out sooner. I loved both these films. I can't say that enough. Okay. So he's back. She's back. He's back. She's back. He's back. Oh, that's right. Oh, the Spot is in this one. I forgot. Okay. So he's not new to the third film. He was in this one. I saw these so long ago. Okay. I may have to rewatch these. Oh. Isra Ray is Spider-Woman. Jess Drew. Okay, so he's back. Oh, Spider India. Okay, so he's in this too. There are so many different Spider people. Yeah, there's my Spider-Punk. You know, the interesting thing about animation is you can have a character that you think might even be white and played by a black guy or a black woman, or you could have a character that you think is black. It could be played by a Hispanic person. It doesn't. It animation. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. I don't know the comic well enough to know if this character underneath the mask is white or black. I have no idea. I would assume he's black because of the actor, but you never know. Oscar Isaac. Yeah. So they're all in this. They're all in the second one. There's very few people that are going to be different, I guess, in the third one. George Stacy. Oh, we like him. So he's George Stacy. Jorma Tacone. Oh, he's the Vulture. He's not Toombs, though. That's interesting. A supervillain from the Italian Renaissance-inspired universe. Oh, there is a there's like a vulture with wooden wings. I wonder if that's him. They just don't have the picture up. Okay, so she's back. He's back. Prowler, okay. Additional iterations of Spider-Man appearing in the film. Andy Samberg, who I like. So he's Ben Reilly and Scarlet Spider. I love Scarlet Spider. I don't know anything about Scarlet Spider. I just love the look of Scarlet Spider. Amanda Stenberg. Okay. Wasn't she in The Acolyte? A horrible Star Wars TV show? Spider Bite. Okay, so she's back. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm going to definitely have to watch this because Ezekiel Sims, Spider Therapist. This is the bad guy in Madam Web. That's funny. I'm going to have to rewatch this. Sophie Barclay, Spider UK. Where's a hijab? Spider UK, where's a hijab? Don't need that. Daniel Perez, Sun Spider, a fan-created character who uses a wheelchair. Of course, we got to be inclusive, everybody. Got to be inclusive. We're doing good. Metro. He's Metro Spider-Man. Iterations of Spider-Man from various media also appearing in the film as members of the Spider Society include Peter Parker's Spider-Man from the TV series, Spider-Man Unlimited. We also got a Peter Parker Lego Spider-Man. We got the Peter Parker from Spectacular Spider-Man. Insomniac Spider-Man from Marvel's Spider-Man video game. Peter Parker and Spider-Man from the 1967 animated series. That's cool. Man, I forgot about all this stuff. Which he reprises his role from the post credits from the last movie, Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, they're Mary Jane, or yeah, Mary Jane. Oh, she's funny. Ziggy Marley voices Lenny, a Jamaican shop owner. Elizabeth Perkins, she's good, as Aunt May of Gwen's Earth 65. Yuri Wannabe? Yeah, I think we're. Oh, what's this? Jack Quaid. I love Jack Quaid. Voices the Earth 1965 Peter Parker, who died after transforming into the lizard. Transforming into him? J.K. Simmons reprises his role as J. Jonah Jameson, voicing various versions of the characters on AU Earth 1610, Earth 42, and Earth 65, with archive audio from other Spider-Man media being used for the Lego version of Earth 1312-2. Okay, we're just going to quickly look through. No, there's too much going on here. This is now all live action stuff. Yeah, this is, wow. Okay. So I dig all of this. I love both these movies. I highly recommend them. And then before we go, I just want to take a look at a couple other things here. This is a video that's a lot longer than I thought it would be. Sorry about that. So this is a picture of Spider-Man Noir. I love Spider-Man Noir. I need to get some Funko Pops and figures of Spider-Man Noir. I especially need to get a Funko Pop and keep it in my car. Nicolas Cage lives in Las Vegas, and people do see him at the grocery store and stuff, and I would love to have it with me and see him and see if he would sign it for me. I think it would be great. Because he's one of my favorite actors. And then this is the TV show. This is because you can see it in black and white and color. So here he is as Spider Noir in black and white. You can also then watch the show in color. And that's it there. So same ad in color, but now he's just Spider or Peter Parker on top with Spider Noir below him. So that's pretty cool. I did watch the show. It's great. I really enjoyed it. I hope they bring in more of the Marvel, like Spider-Man villains. Here's a couple pictures of him. Like this is him in black and white. I think he looks great. I would really like to think that Cage stayed in the costume. As I'm sure Stuntman had to do some of the stuff, but I really, 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 really hope that he was in the costume most of the time. And then this is him in color. This is a behind the scenes shot. This is one of the first pictures that was shown. So there he is there in color. God, he looks great. So good looking. What a really interesting character too. So with all of that with all that being said, we now have what everybody is looking forward to, of course, is the new Spider-Man movie. And that's Spider-Man Brand New Day. I don't like that Zendaya is in his eye instead of a villain. It should be like Scorpion or whoever it is. I don't know. There might be a villain in the other eye. Looks like maybe somebody's standing on something. I'm not really sure. Just get her out of there. Come on, man. Put the villain in. That's what we want. Or put Punisher in there. that's what I'm most interested in. I'm interested in Scorpion, because he's been brought up in other things, and then of course the Punisher. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Also, is the Punisher being in this, and seeing it's going to be interesting, because like Kraven the Hunter and the Punisher are the two that want to kill Spider-Man the most. And now they have him. I don't know if, I know Kraven isn't in this, but I don't know if Punisher starts off as somebody who wants to kill Spider-Man and then they team up. But I'm not really sure. I would think that throughout Daredevil, Punisher, all the TV shows and stuff, Netflix and Disney and all that, that he would probably, I mean, if Daredevil knows of Spider-Man, Matt Murdock, I would think the Punisher would know who he is, but we'll, excuse me, we will see. And so let's just do a quick look at Spider-Man Brand New Day. So that's upcoming. This is all post-production. So Spider-Man Brand New Day, Columbia Pictures, Marvel, and then we have Marvel, Avengers Doomsday coming up too. So that's in December. Spider-Man Brand New Day is literally right around the corner. So it's 2016. It is going to be, we got that. That's not a bad poster there. So this is the director. This Dustin Daniel Cretton, I think he's going to be doing the next 3 movies. Let's just take a quick look. What did he do? Why did he get this job? Okay. I'm Not a Hipster. I don't know about. Short Term 12. I don't know about that either. The Glass Castle. Don't know about that one either. The Shack. No idea. Just Mercy. Don't know. Oh, well, it does have Michael B. Jordan in it. Jamie Foxx. Okay. Tim Blake Nelson. Brie Larson. Wow, a lot of comic book people. He did do Shang-Chi. Not the worst. I rewatched it recently, and I actually did like it. I liked it. And then he got years after that, a few years after that, then Spider-Man. Do we have anything? It's 145 minutes. Each Spider-Man movie just keeps getting longer and longer. I think maybe there's like one variant in there for length. Okay, so Tom Holland, Peter. It's a lot of stuff on him all the way down here. Okay, so Zendaya. Sadie Sink. Yeah, she's supposed to be a big deal in this. Okay, Ned is back. John Berthal as the Punisher, Frank Castle and the Punisher. Great version of the Punisher. Tamaral Tillman. It's Bill Metzger. He's policing superpowered individuals. Michael Mando. Oh, he's good. He plays Scorpion. Oh, they don't have a picture of Scorpion. Matt Gargan. Mark Ruffalo. Bruce Banner. At least playing the Hulk. At least this seems like this is the back to Savage Hulk, not the Hulk that we've had the last few times, which I don't like. Oh, so Lonnie Lee. Okay. Marvin Jones III. So he is in this. He's Tombstone. Okay. Additionally, so he's MJ's new boyfriend. Oh, yeah, because she doesn't know who Peter is. Jane DeWolf reprises her role as Shalina Rivera from the MCU TV series of Daredevil Born Again. Florence Pugh. I love Florence Pugh. My God, she is gorgeous. She is absolutely gorgeous. I will pretty much watch anything that she's in. But she comes back. So there must be some sort of reference to, the widows and oh my God. The new Avengers, we'll say. Keith David, undisclosed role. Characters also are Boomerang, Tarantula, and Ramrod. Part of the organization of the Hand. Okay, so Flash is back. Martin Starr is back. Yeah, Flash Thompson and Roger Harrington. Okay. So this has some people in it that I didn't realize were going to be in it. All right. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. We made it through everything. Wow. So let's recap. We'll go backwards. All right. So this is the 2-movie collection of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We got that. This is a 3-movie collection of Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2.1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man. There we go. My God. All right, everybody. Man, if you made it to the end of this, I did not expect this to be so long. I really didn't, but I like to talk, and I like to talk about movies and stuff. I thank you so much for making it through all this. Maybe let me know down below if you made it all the way through this, and let me know. I'm just very curious if you actually made it all the way through 3 hours and 7 minutes of Spider-Man and me rambling about Spider-Man. So if you can, like, share, comment, do all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. Even if it's YouTube or if it's, Facebook or X, whatever it is, please like, share, and comment and do all that good stuff. I'd really appreciate it. What is my next video? I do have one planned. I can't think of what it is, but I think there's one planned. I think I have like the next 2 or 3 planned. But yeah, I do have something planned. But all right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, man, if you made it all the way through this, you're a champ. You're a winner for me, winner to me. Well, you're always winners and champs because you watch these. So yeah, thank you. Thank you once again. I really appreciate it. All right, everybody. I am going to go see if I can find those extended versions of movies and get those. And then I'll let you know maybe on the X-Men video. I'll do a little Spider-Man update to see what I could find and watch. So, all right, everybody, I'll see you on the next video. Okay.